Look at my hair. I don't even care anymore. Do you understand? I don't even care how I look to you all anymore. I'm being tortured. Do you understand? The cult of control, how domination breeds decay. That's what I'm experiencing right now. I'm decaying every moment of every day because people are so ignorant when it comes to what the contribution of the indigenous woman has been within the diaspora and the surrounding countries of the world. I'll be right back in a moment. Let me give some people some time to come in. Hello, this is Erica Clark Wise, The Renaissance. I want you to see how this is affecting me. I want you to see my body, look at my stomach. Those who saw me at the gym know this is not how I was in North Carolina when I was wearing the 40-pound weighted vest. This has been 3 months of fucking torture. If you count North Carolina, where I was at from April 2024 to now, that's April, May, June, July, August, September, October. That's 7 months of torture. Last one, decaying. So we're talking about the cult of control, how domination breeds decay, and I am decaying before your eyes. I am decaying. Welcome. This lecture examines a trajectory of systemic domination and coercion observed across multiple regions. You have to realize that the people on my chip may be people who cannot pronounce words correctly, and they'll hold me back from pronouncing words because they can't. From Puerto Rico, Catalina, Arecibo, Utuado, to North Carolina, South Carolina, Savannah, Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia, and now Mexico, a domination control network is a network of authority, supposed authority, where rules, culture, and abnormal norms maintain control over individuals or groups. Institutes throughout these regions have harmed me tremendously. In some cases, organizations designed through policy to protect have harmed me. The unspoken psychological trauma has amplified complex post-traumatic syndrome in me as a result of prolonged 2 years of systematic neuro abuse. In early 2023, around April, the first day of Lesbian Visibility Week, my Apple Mac computer was hacked It was initially hacked in February, but it was hacked and shut down, resulting in a 6-month no electronic sabbatical that I embarked upon because of the terror of being stripped of all of my intellectual property I had been building in terms of 3 books I was writing, one about blockchain technology and innovations I could make in Australia, Africa, and the United States, as well as a companion workbook and a book about billionaires speaking on their numerology, astrology, and how they contributed to society. And the billionaires I picked were Oprah Winfrey, Ray Dalio, Warren Buffett, Tyler Perry, Charlie Mugler, and I think I added Jeff Bezos as a special mention or something of that nature. So this initially delayed my documentation process when I was off of electronics for 6 months. And it seemed most likely to my friends and loved ones for my unfolding theory and enforced compliance due to some wrongdoing or planned game by me or a team. So I can see now as I look back at the fullness of what has happened here in 2 years of torture, that they could have easily fooled my family and loved ones into thinking that I was communicating with them because I was not online. This is a false narrative that they probably went forth with to convince my family and loved ones that I was involved. Today, where bureaucracy procedures are not checked in a balanced fashion, I see how pesos in Mexico cause weaponized submission to affiliate hate groups. Like I said the other day at the embassy, there were 2 men who presented themselves as Aryan Nation, I'm pretty sure, who had affiliate on their badge in terms of the embassy. That shows me that bribery of enforcement actions are common mechanisms of harm placed on victims of international terrorism. The psychological impact you see on the illegal and legal surveillance is one of protective hypervigilance. That's what you see in me when you see the tape from the airport of how I reacted to them stealing my suitcase today and putting it through an unnecessary check and rearranging all the things in my suitcase. All of this is a mechanism of control that they try to put upon me to make me comply, just like the hypervigilance you see me in the reaction on the videos, the sleep deprivation because they keep speaking on my head, things trying to make you all think I'm speaking to myself. These are lies. That's why I had to go live. The heightened startle response I have a lot of times when I react to people who are close by me, it's all because of what I've been through in the last 2 years. So this is normal behavior for protection. But as soon as I get out of the terror dome, I will most likely start researching the following expert frameworks to rebuild myself again. And that's the institutional betrayal by Freyd, copyright 2013, and complex trauma by Herman, 1992. I'll probably be embarking upon studying those frameworks to rebuild myself again. This is not anything I'm doing for any white man, because they love to take the credit for every indigenous soul who ever does anything that's out of the ordinary or for their own autonomy. They love to take the goddamn cheering role as if they initiated it, but that's a fucking lie. And the positions I see that the Mexican are in terms of government, they may be experiencing a lack of sense of self. And that has a lot to do with the authority complex here that's attached to their livelihood. So people are trying to make it. So that's why you see there's such a compliance here with the unofficial authority running shit outside of the Mexican government through slush funds and shadow governments that come from abroad. This same thing is happening in reverse in places like Dubai, where most of the people who work in below management positions come from outside of Dubai. Like the Philippines and India, all the people who are Emiratis in Dubai, they work in the high level positions. So the North Carolina debacle that I experienced that began at Sanavia's house, where I was supposed to be going for refuge from the terror attack in Puerto Rico was initiated with subtle surveillance and pressure on my mind and body. Synavia has a liver problem. I think she tried to change livers with me. Her daughter is going blind. I think she put her daughter on me so her eyes could be replaced with mine. This is all a part of the nodes and what people do with this type of neuroweaponry. So my movement was continually monitored, I observed, through coercion, I can't pronounce that well right now, beyond formal institutions that would include my so-called quote-unquote friend Synavia's house. Now I will freestyle from here for the rest of the narrative for you all. The speech I was writing had to come to a halt as they began to pressure my front right brain hemisphere as soon as I mentioned North Carolina. And I have a keen sense of psychological insight into myself due to 8 years of self-mastery, as well as a background in psychology with marriage and family counseling and a BS, as well as a master's in social work with an emphasis in criminal justice from Howard University and Oakwood University. So I understand psychological things. Isn't it funny how now 19 Keys is claiming to be the psychological cognitive expert? Nigga, what type of background do you have besides my brain pulling on my brainstem? I want y'all to know that that's real. So basically, I came live tonight because my life is in danger. Once again, it has not changed. I have not received any help. Aryan Nation came into the airport in about a group of 50 wearing all Hugo Boss shirts, I was told from the intel. And that is a reflection of my podcast. They're trying to make people think that I'm in some type of joint effort with them in order to fight some type of child trafficking, when that's not the case. Some of them know this to be true. Others are so brainwashed and do what they're told so easily from the chip manipulation that they might not know. Right now, they're still hurting this side of my face through the neuroweaponry and the nodes that are placed in my body illegally. So I really don't have a lot to say. I'm trying to think of what to say. And I think mostly what I need to let you know is that this has been going on for 2 years, and I need intervention from the president of Mexico to get me into a hotel, the Hilton, here at the airport with a per diem until I leave. And that'll be November the 4th. That's the main thing I want to talk about today. I need to get off of these goddamn benches where men walk up to me and start talking on my chip. If you don't understand the fucking technology, please don't criticize what you hear from me. It's not released in many regions in terms of people understanding how prevalent it is. It's a dark market weaponry. It was first, I'm not even gonna go there because somebody else already went there, so that might be him prompting me to say it. But I spoke on it earlier on. So I don't have a lot to say because I've gone live so many times today. I just had to let it know that they're still trying to damage my brain. They were still trying to hurt my body with my arm as well as my brain. And so that made me have to go live because I'm not gonna take the abuse anymore. And they constantly trying to put children on my chip. They brought around a few Down syndrome young people around me, trying to make my brain, you know, like their cognitive level. All these things. And the airport is in compliance with it because they're mostly prompted. There's someone told me statistically, there's about 50% of the people who are chipped and 50% who are not. And the person who's running it, as I said earlier, through the bribery stream last night, is more than likely a few of your crime conglomerate hate groups. This is calling what they are, hate groups, because they like to kill people that they don't like. So that's a hate crime. I'm not any of the things they labeled me as. Most of them are. And tonight there was a guy who said, "You're in my country," and tried to fight me. So I had to defend myself against him. Was trying to run the microwave guns on me through the phone. My head still hurts from when I mentioned North Carolina in my written part of my speech. I'm looking older than ever. and I have been actively reversing my age for years. Tonight they were telling me on the chip how they don't want me to forget how old I am. They're under this premise that I have some type of mental health disorder that I don't, based upon what Alita Felton told them, based upon her relationship with me where she tried to convince me as such. And my therapist at the time convinced me that it wasn't true. And many other therapists after. They're pushing me to the limit.